Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to Dazola Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous heart granny square sweater, you guys. It is reversible, so it's a 2-in-1 sweater. It's basically just two big granny squares and just put them together and make the sleeves. And it looks super spectacular. I'm so excited. So you guys, this is a long tutorial, but in my tutorials I go really slow, and they're really detailed to help especially beginners or those that are just starting out in crochet. If you guys know how to do a double crochet, then you can make this sweater. To my more advanced crocheters out there, this is also for you. Of course, you can just skip through where I talk and kind of babble a little bit. If you guys know me, I love to babble. So really quick, I want to talk to you a little bit about little things that I have in my video. You'll see that I am wearing my bracelets. If you guys would like to check out my Etsy shop, I do make them, custom make them for you all. All of my links will be down below, so my Etsy shop link will be down below. And also, if you guys would like to become a channel member, I do rely on your donations to buy yarn and to make fabulous tutorials like this one. So you can check that out. Channel membership on my channel only starts at $2, I think. $2.99 and goes on up for there. But if you like what I do have a lot of yarn giveaways. I do have tutorials, and I think pretty nice content. Please consider becoming a member to my channel. That's all I have to say about me. Let's get to our ingredients list. Surprisingly, you only need one skein of each color. You do not have to do 3 colors. You can do 2 colors, make it your own. If you don't like the pink and the white and the black, make it another color. As you'll see throughout my video, this is kind of a make your own. You do not have to use the same colors. And as for the size, you can make it any size you want. That's how my tutorials are. But what I used for my tutorial is Big Twist Value yarn. I have it in black. I used white. And then I also used, oh boy, what is this? Medium rose. And this is actually the skein that I used, so there's plenty of yarn left, shockingly. I thought I was gonna use a lot more yarn. So again, 1 skein of each, 3 skeins total, black, white, and medium rose. If you don't have Big Twist yarn, by the way, you buy this Big Twist yarn at Joann. You can use Super Saver, you can use Karen Simply Soft, whatever you guys have on hand, it's all good. You will definitely need some stitch markers. I have my little bowl here, and I'm also using a size 6 hook. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place right now. You're gonna need a pair of scissors, and probably you will need a tape measure or a ruler or something just to measure your granny squares, just so they are even. So this sweater would be, I would consider it a size large. I don't know the exact size-wise that it would be, but I would consider this a size large. Again, don't let that stop you. You can totally make it your own, and I tell you how, okay? So with that said, I'm just checking my notes here. Let's get to the tutorial, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I really love this sweater, and I hope you love it too. Let's get started. Okay, everyone, I knew I was forgetting something. I'm so sorry, but this is a major important part. To make this tutorial, you will need to make 4 separate heart granny squares. And here are some examples of the ones that I have made. You can make it in any color you want, of course, make it your own. But you will have to make 4 of these granny squares prior to starting this tutorial, okay? So I have made a separate tutorial to make these granny squares. I will have the link up above here, and I will also have the link down below, okay? So again, to make this sweater, you have to make 4 of these granny squares, minimum 4. You can make 6 if you want a wider sweater, but minimum 4. Please, please, please make the granny squares before you start the tutorial. I know, I knew I forgot something. I'm so sorry. But again, the heart granny square tutorial will be down below. The link will be down below, okay? After you make your granny squares, 4 of them, they're really, really easy to make, then you can continue on to this tutorial. So once you've made those 4, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So now I am going to make the actual granny square, and my sweaters are completely reversible. Depending on your mood, you can wear one day, one side one day, and then the other side the other day. I really like it like that because it's like a 2-in-1. I am going to do this for you in white to start it off, but it will be, my finished product will be black in the middle. I'm doing this just so you guys can see, because I know black is really hard to see on camera, okay? So all you're going to do is make your magic circle. Again, you go over, under, over, okay? By now you should be a pro. And then you hold the strand of yarn with your in between these 2 fingers. I can't recall the name of them now. Your ring and pinky. Oh man, you guys. And then you insert your hook. I call it the northwest quadrant. Grab your yarn right here, pull through again, and then you just pull it this. Practice makes better, okay? And I know for some of you, this is hard because it's a lot of, you just have to hold things, but just keep doing it. Don't quit, and you will get better. So immediately you're going to chain 2, and that locks your strand, your string of yarn. You guys, I can't talk. I just drank a ton of coffee, so I'm like, that locks your yarn on there, just like that, okay? So we're going to start with the granny square middle. So you're chain 2, and then you're going to put a double crochet in, 1, and then another double crochet. And remember, when you are using your magic circle, your magic ring, you want to crochet over the 2 strands, or it will lose its magic, okay? And we don't want that. So again, we have the chain 2, 2 double crochets in the magic circle. You're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, okay? Insert your hook into the middle. Oops, I was gonna do a single crochet. Insert your hook into the middle, yarn over, pull through, double crochet. We're gonna do 1 and 2. So we're going to do 3 groups of 4 double crochets, chain 1. I'm going a little bit faster because I know you guys have already made your heart granny squares, so we're kind of pro, okay? 1 more group of 3 double crochets, and don't forget your chain 1s in between. If you want, you can also chain 2, but I'm going to chain 1 just because we chain 1 on the other side. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, don't forget that chain 1. So you should have 4 chain 1 spaces. And now we're going to slip stitch right here again to the top of your chain 2. Okay, there we go, like that. And I tucked my strand as I went along. So now what do? You want to slip stitch over here to this chain 1 space. So you insert at the top, slip stitch, insert at the top, slip stitch. Okay, I like to cut my yarn, fasten off, and then start a new color. I think that that is a lot cleaner and it looks a lot nicer. If you guys want to join the yarn, that's fine, but I like to completely fasten off the yarn and join the yarn. I'm sorry, I'm looking for scissors and I can't find any. Hold on one second. Actually, I do not need scissors because I'm going to save this yarn. I'm going to redo this in black and then I will meet you for our next row. Okay, everyone, so I redid it in black. This is going to be my starting color. So again, I'm going to fasten off and I'm going to tie that in a knot right there. And then if you guys like the little hole in the center, you can leave it, but I like to close it up completely. So all you do, and this is where the magic circle brings all of its magic, is you just pull it close and it looks like that. Really, really nice. Okay, so now what I like to do is work on the opposite. So I fastened the granny square off right here. I'm going to start the new color in the opposite side. Why? I don't know. That's just what I do. I think it makes it a little bit more even, but you guys, I don't know. That's just my personal preference. The next color I'm doing is pink. So I have my pink strand right here. And you don't have to leave a huge tail to tuck in. You just literally like use your hand width, maybe a little bit longer, and you make a slip knot. However you make it, there's a million ways, and however you make it is the correct way. Okay, so you insert your hook into the chain 1 space right here. And this is the basic for every granny square, you guys. Okay, this is just a basic granny square. So once you learn how to make this, you know how to make a granny square. I like to tighten my knot a little bit. You pull through, chain 2, okay? And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the chain space, chain 1 space. That's 1 and 2. And if you can, tuck this strand behind because that's one less thing that you have to do. If not, do not worry about it, okay? So we have our chain 2, 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 1, and then in the same chain 1 space right here, we're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear, but my gutters are going. It's really, really raining here. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you hear like rumbling in the back, that's what that noise is. Okay, so we have our chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, okay? We're not going to chain in the middle. Sometimes you chain in the middle. We're not going to chain anything in the middle. We're just going to go into the next chain 1 space, okay? Yarn over, 3 double crochets all in the chain 1 space, There's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. And then you're going to put 3 more double crochets in that chain 1 space. 2 and 3. Okay, so go ahead and do that in the next 2 chain 1 spaces. So there's 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the chain 1 spaces. Okay, I will meet you when you are done with that. Okay, everyone, so yours should look something like this, and this is how you turn a circle into a square. Isn't that fascinating? I think that's so awesome. So now all you're going to do is slip stitch to the top of the chain 2, boop, and then you're going to slip stitch over, slip stitch over, and then I'm going to fasten this off like that. I'm going to make a knot just like that. And there you have it. I'm going to teach you how to tuck your ends in right now too, because I like to do this as I go so I don't have a million ends. Okay, so the ones actually that we've tucked behind, if you are tucking them behind, good for you. But if you're not, I'm going to show you what to do. Get your yarn needle. To put your yarn on your yarn needle, you just fold the yarn in half and you put it through like this. The first time I learned that, I was like, wow. Put it on there like that. And all you do is go through these back loops right here. Okay, so again, I've already tucked this behind, but I'm just going to go like this. One way, and then to really lock it in there, you go through. You go back and forth 3 times. Just like that. And it will never come out. How do I know? I've made so many face scrubbies, and those have been through the wash a million times, quite literally, and they've never come out. Okay, so then this side, again, I already tucked it in one way, and if you already tuck it in one way, you guys, that's fine, but I just like to be a little bit extra, and then I go like that. And then I just go through that way. This one I'll do only 2. Just like that. But the main one where you first start your granny square, that one you definitely want to go back and forth 3 times. Okay? So again, you just pull it tight. And I know this is black and it's kind of hard to see, but it's the same principle. Okay? You go on, you go through the back loops right here, and you just go around. Sometimes if the yarn I'm using is kind of slippery, for lack of a better word, I do knot it. But this yarn, this big twist yarn, really holds well. So I go around, and again, with this beginning knot, I always just do a little bit extra. So I go that way, and then come back around and go this way. And then I'll do a couple more like this. And there you go. Okay, And then you just cut it like that. I recommend doing this as you go, so you don't have a million ends to tuck in at the end. So theirs is a really cute little granny square. Look at how cute. So now I'm going to show you how to do the next rows and the rows after that. Once you get the next one, you'll be all set. You guys, I just started doing this. If you're using multiple colors, like I just have my strands of yarn right here, and I kind of like it. I have my desk and I just have all of my strands of yarn, and it's really, really convenient. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Again, we finished right here. I'm going to start right here. Why? That's just how I do things, you guys. I don't know. That's how my brain works. Okay. So now what we're going to do, again, we're going to do the same thing like the second row. Take your yarn, make a slip knot. However you do it is the right way, because you are super spectacular. Insert your hook into the chain one space. Yarn on your hook just like that. Pull through, chain two. Now, as you can make a blanket out of this granny square, it's going to be the same principle row after row after row, okay? We're going to chain two, or if you want, you could chain three, but I always chain two. 2 double crochets in the chain one space. That's 1 and 2. I learned how to not move my hand. I am older, you guys, and when I crochet a lot, I get really bad hand pain. So I try to keep this hand stationary and move this hand. So that's why I do it this way, just FYI. Chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1. Then we're going to put 3 more double crochets in that chain 1 space. And I am tucking behind, this strand behind. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Okay, so always the chain 1 space is a corner. Okay, remember that. So now we have 4 corners, because this is a square, but we have this space in the middle right here. Okay, and as you go along in your granny square, between the groups of 3 is where you're going to put the 3 double crochets. Always, forever, as wide as you make your granny square, that is where you're going to put 3 double crochets. Okay, so when we're not in a corner, we are not chaining 1. There are no chain 1s in between the corners. Okay, it's just straight groups of 3 double crochets. Okay, so in this space right here, 3 double crochets. Just like that. Okay, here we have a corner. What do we do in the corner? We put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. 3 more double crochets in the corner. If you need to, if you are just beginning and this is kind of confusing, I recommend you get stitch markers. Stitch markers can be a piece of yarn. Stitch markers can be markers like this. Stitch markers can also be safety pins, okay? Whatever you have, you don't have to spend any money. If you are new, I would recommend marking the chain 1 spaces just so you know that that's a corner, okay? So this is where you put your 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And stitch markers work, you guys. Trust me on that. And here's another corner. Okay, so it's easier for you, again, if you're just beginning, or maybe you're just new to granny squares. These are the ones that you need to put the 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, whatever makes it easiest for you, do it. So now we have this space in between. What are we going to put here? 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we are in a corner space. How do I know? Because I have a stitch marker there. Wow. I'm going to tuck this behind, so I'm going to leave that right there. 3 double crochets. 1, whoa, 2, and 3, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if you want to, here's the chain 1 space. Put a stitch marker right there. And it is more convenient because the bigger you make your granny square, the more spaces you will have in between, okay? So please, 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 if you get confused, I get confused all the time, always, use the stitch markers in the chain 1 space. It will make your life so much easier. Let me get more yarn because we're just going to do this part together, okay? And then I will release you into the wild. Okay, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. There we go. I thought it was a good idea. So we're in the space between. It's 3 double crochets. When you use a lot of stitch markers, it looks like your your project has piercings. You guys, I'm crazy. Okay, we're in the quarter space again. How do I know? Because there's my trusty stitch marker there. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, 3 double crochets. One in that chain 1 space. You got to open it up. If you need to open it up, open it up. No big deal. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. In that chain 1 space right here, put your stitch marker. And then in the spaces in between, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here is our beginning chain 2, and here is the top. Again, if you're new and you're doing this for the first time, mark the top of that first chain 2. Because when you come back around, it's so easy to find that. Okay? So then we're going to slip stitch into the next top of the next double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 1 space. And then we're going to fasten off. Tie a knot. Throw your chain marker in that chain 1 space. Boom. Okay. So here it is. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So in these spaces in between, what are you going to do? You're going to put 3 double crochets in this space, 3 double crochets in this space, and so on and so on. in the corners, what are you gonna do? Oh my God, I messed up on this one. Look at that. I only put 2 double crochets. See, I messed up, but I caught that. I'll go back and fix it. You're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that pattern, and it just repeats and it repeats and it repeats. Okay, if you have any questions, go back and rewatch. But it's really, really easy, you guys, and I promise once you get the hang of it, you will be crocheting. But don't be like me. Take your time. And remember to put 3 and 3, okay? So go for it. You can add as many colors as you want. Make it really, really beautiful. I will meet you when I am done with this square. I don't know what the finished dimensions are going to be yet. I'm just going to make a really big granny square, okay? So you got this. I know you can do it. And I will see you when you are done with your big granny square. Okay, everyone, so you can see how gorgeous this is. This is my finished piece. I am done with this one panel. So I just want to show you the end measurements. It's about 19 inches right here. So I just made it to match the other side of the sweater so it can be reversible. Hopefully yours came out like you wanted it. And now we are going to join the 2 squares together to make a sweater. Super exciting, you guys. I hope you're having fun. Okay, everyone, so if you have made your heart granny squares, this is what they should look like, something like this. This is one that I just made, these two. These two I made earlier, and they have an extra row on them. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make 4 of them with the extra row, and it's going to look like this, okay? You can keep it at this size. This size, I believe, is 5 inches. But if you want to put an extra row, then go ahead and put an extra row. I'll show you how to do that. If you do not want to put an extra row, you don't have to at all. This is your project, so make it your own. You could make 6 in a line. You can do 4 and then just build the granny square around it. This is 100% your project, and I always say make it your own. Oh, let's see how, I have a ruler right here. These are actually 6 inches, okay? So I am going to make another row on top of this row, and I will show you how to do that right now. Okay, everyone, so just to make it crystal clear again, this is the granny square that we have right now. This is what we're going to end up with. I am just going to put an extra row on there, and then we will combine the 4 granny squares. This, how I'm going to show you, it goes for any granny square, okay? This is how you increase it. Let's say you finish it and maybe the squares are too small and you want to add another row. This is how you add another row. So just for, again, tutorial purposes, when I do the tutorial, I will be working with a white yarn, but I'm going to go back and use a black yarn because I like it with the black. Okay, so grab your yarn and let's get started. All you do first is make a slip knot. However you make a slip knot is totally valid. There's like a million different ways to make it, so there is really no right or wrong way. So you're going to find your corner, okay? And here is the middle, and all you have to do is go up diagonal. Your corners should have at least one space in between, okay? So that's your corners right here. So I'm going to insert my hook into the corner. I'm going to put my yarn on the hook, pull just a little bit. You do want a little bit of wiggle room. What strand is it? It's this one. Okay, and then you just pull your yarn through. Make sure you have the the correct strand of yarn, and you're going to chain 2. Okay, just like that. If you want to chain 3, you can, but I always chain 2. Okay, and if you can, tuck your yarn behind. So we're just going to continue on with this pattern. We're going to put 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, and since this is a corner, we're going to chain 1. We're just going to continue on what we did in the other corners, and then in the same space we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, same space, 3. Okay, so this is one corner right here, and you see how it goes all the way down. Make sure that you have your chain 1 space in there. Okay, now again, for any granny square, you're going to have your chain 3, or not your chain 3, your 3 double crochets in 1 stitch, and then you're going to have a space in between. You see that? So on this granny square, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces in between the groups of 3 double crochets. And in those spaces in between, we are going to continue to put 3 double crochets. So there's 1 in this space again, 2, and in the same space, 3. Okay, next space, insert your hook, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and we'll just do this row together. Next space right here, 3 double crochets in that space, 1, 2, and 3. And then the next space right here, 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. Okay, so yours should look something like this. We have the corner right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 3 double crochets. Okay, now our next space is going to be the corner space right here, right in here. We are going to put 3 double crochets inside, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is your pattern. In the corner space, well, this is when we first started. You do a chain 2, and then the 2 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the same corner, in the same space. And then in the next spaces, you put 3 double crochets, no chains in between. Okay, and then you're going to get to the next corner space. You just put 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, and then in the next spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, you put 3 double crochets like we did here. And then in the corner, 3 double crochets, chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. So you work all the way around until we get back to right here, and I will meet you when you are almost done with the outside of the granny square. Okay, everyone, so you can see I made my extra row here. I'm almost done. So I have one last space right here. I'm going to put the 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now right here, I'm going to kind of pull this apart here. This is my chain 2, and here is where it connects. I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch right there, like so. And I'm going to slip stitch over to this chain 1 space. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch into the next spot, like so. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space right here. Okay, and then we are done with that row. You can add as many rows as you want to, okay? It's your project. Please, please, please make it your own. I'm going to go back and take this white yarn out, and I'm going to redo it with black yarn. I have, I think I just have these 2 to do right here. So I'm going to make an extra row on this one with black, and then I'm going to make an extra row on this granny square with black, and then I will meet you when I am done with that. If you are done, I guess I should show you how to fasten off. All you do is cut it and then pull through and tie a knot. I'm not going to tie it too tight because I'm going to take this out. But there you go. There is your granny square awesomeness. I don't know if you guys have seen my videos, but I have a hard time with carrying the yarn. Let me just talk to you about this really quick. I carried the yarn on this granny square. I did not carry the yarn on this granny square. And I like this one a lot better than I like this one, just because I think this one is a lot cleaner. It's your personal preference. This one does have a lot more ends to tie than this one, obviously, but I just like this one. Anyway, that's beside the point, you guys. Go ahead and make your extra row or rows, and I will meet you when you are done. Okay, everyone, so I am done. I just added the extra row on each granny square, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is put the 4 together, join the 4 together, and you can do this anyway. I'm going to do it the super easy way. Usually I do a seam down the front like this, and then I single crochet it together. I wanted this one to be kind of flat, so I'm going to show you how to do a different join. Okay, so all you do is take your 2 granny squares, whichever one, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go hamburger instead of hot dog first, and then I'm going to, so this is the right side and this is the other side, so it's right side facing. Okay, so this is the back side, this is the back side. Okay, and since I'm doing this, I want this on the left side when I wear it, I'm going to put it together like this. Okay, so your right sides should be touching, facing each other. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is put these two together like this, okay? And then I'm going to take my other ones and I'm going to do the same thing. So this is the right side, this is the right side, okay? Now all you're going to do is put them together like this, okay? So what we're going to do is, again, right side facing, okay? And I'm going to put them together. So this right here is going to be our middle seam, okay? Everyone with me? So it's just going to open up like this. Boop and boop. Okay? Close that. Right side facing, right side facing. Everyone got it? I hope so. Because we are just going to go straight across like this. Okay? Again, I am using white yarn for demonstration purposes only. I'm going to go back and go back over it with the black yarn. Okay? So bear with me. We will go very, very slow. Let me put this over. So we're going to start in the chain one space. So here's one chain one space, and here's the other chain one space. Okay, so put them together, put your finger through, just like this, put your hook through like that. Okay, and remember to use the right size hook, you guys. I think I started out with I don't know, maybe I did just start out with a 6mm hook. Sometimes I freak out because I think like, oh no, I started out with the wrong hook and then I end up with the wrong hook size. I know everyone does that, but it makes me upset. Anyway, your yarn is through in the chain one space. I just made a slip knot. However you make a slip knot is how you make your slip knot. You want to leave this loose because it's going to go through both granny squares, okay? So all you do is pull through, chain one, okay? And on the first stitch right here, I always like to put, just for extra reinforcement, a single crochet. So in the chain one space, again, this is the back side of the granny squares. You put a chain one and you put a single crochet. So all we're going to do is chain three and single crochet in the space between. Okay, so we're going to chain three over the 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me, and in the space in between right here, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, single crochet. Boom. Super easy. Chain 3. Space in between the 3 double crochets, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, single crochet. It's that easy. Yes. Chain 3. Space in between, single crochet. Yep. We'll just do this together. Chain 3. Space in between, single crochet. Chain 3. Space in between, single crochet. Okay, now we're coming up towards the end right here. So here is our chain 1 corner space. Chain 3. Insert your hook into the chain 1 corner space, yarn over, single crochet. chain 1, bring your 2 other granny squares into the mix, find the chain 1 corner space. So it's right here, right here. Again, please make sure that the right sides are facing wrong sides out. Okay, so we just chained 1. We're going to insert our hook into that chain 1 space through both granny squares, yarn over, single crochet. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to put that chain 1 space in between. Never mind. I thought that would work, but it's not going to. So here we go. We're at the corner again. Insert your hook into the chain 1 spaces in the next 2 granny squares, like so. Boop. Single crochet. Okay. If you want to, you can put another single crochet in here, but I think that would be fine because we're going to go back this way too. Okay, chain 3. Find the next space in between. Insert your hook. Single crochet. So this, I'm going to stop for a second right here. This is where we joined the 2, that's going to be the middle right here. Okay. So this is where we joined 2 and 2 right in here. Okay. And then again, it's going to be a little bit wobbly, but we're going to go back on this seam too and join it right there. Okay. So go ahead and just finish out this row. Oh, we'll just finish it out together. Single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and I'll show you what this looks like when we're done. Space in between, chain 3. This is probably the easiest way to join granny squares, I think. Chain 3, and here is the last chain 1 space. You want to insert your hook, single crochet, and then you just fasten that off. I'm not going to fasten off because I'm not using white yarn. So now what does this look like? You open it up. It lays flat. Again, I'm going to be using black yarn. And I like it just because it lays flat like that. And you have all of your granny, well, you have this row of joined granny squares. Isn't that cool? Super easy, you guys. I think that's super, super easy. So let me go back through and do this with black yarn, and then I'll show you how to do this seam. Okay, everyone, so I just finished it in black. Let's open it up. Look at how cute that is. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So here is the seam. Again, if you want to have a contrast color, like say you're making black and pink and white like me, you can have it pink, you can have it white, you can have whatever color you want. This is your project, okay? Make it your own. But as you can see, it's joined right here. You can kind of see where the single crochets are. So now we are going to work on joining this seam right here. And it's going to be the exact same as before. So all we do, here's the right side. It's okay if your granny squares are a little bit crooked. We'll fix that. Everything will be fixed when we start doing the outside ribs. Okay, so here's the seam that we just did. We are going to, before we had it folded like this to do this seam, now we are going to open it up and fold it right here on this seam, okay? So you just fold up like this, super easy, and then you just join the granny squares like we did before. So you find the chain one space. Here's one chain one space. I'm going to clean up these when I'm done with this. And here's the other chain one space. Put your yarn on your hook. Leave it a little bit loose. Yarn over, slip stitch, and then single crochet. Okay, chain 3, find the 2 spaces in between, insert your hook, single crochet. Same thing like we did before. Chain 3, insert your hook, whoop, just like that. Okay, chain 3, single space, or single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Let me do this with you. Single crochet right here, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and then we are going to get into this corner. Oh no, next one. Sorry. I'm ahead of myself. Chain 3, okay? So now we are going to do this corner, okay? So here is the space right here, the chain 1 space. Insert your hook, single crochet. Okay, so here's the seam that we just did. And then you want to find the chain 1 space again in both granny squares. Sometimes it's easier to find the bottom one and then find the top one. So here is the chain 1 space right here. You might have to make this loop a little bit bigger just to go over this gap. Go just like this. Oops, wait a minute, I didn't put that directly into the chain 1 space. Pulled up a loop. Again, your loops might be a little bit larger than normal, that's okay. And then you single crochet, okay? And then you just continue on, chain 3, single crochet. Okay, so that's how you do that little doodad right in there. So go ahead, do that all the way across till you get to the end, fasten off, and I will meet you when you are done. Okay, everyone, so I know this is black yarn, but I am finishing up this. I just want to show you. Here's our chain 1 space. Here's our chain 1 space. So I'm just going to insert my hook, single crochet, nothing different than we did before. And then I'm going to cut this yarn here. I'm gonna tie a knot, fasten off, just like that. So now we can see what it looks like. Super, super cute, you guys. Look at how cute that is. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Again, if it's like crooked like this, don't worry about it. It will go into place as soon as we do the border. So what I'm going to do now, I have all of these ends. I'm going to tuck all my ends in, and then I will meet you back and we will start working on the outside border and making this granny square big. I'll meet you after I tuck all my ends in. Okay, everyone, so you can see my 4 squares are joined. You guys, it's perfectly okay if these are crooked. Once we start making the outside rows, everything will come together, so don't worry about that. This is what the backs of my granny squares look like. Please make sure that all of your ends are tucked in. It just makes everything easier. So when you are ready to go on to the next level, you're not worrying about tucking all your ends in. Tuck your ends in as you go, okay? So now what we're going to do is start the outside rows. And once you get the hang of this, We already did it on these squares if you added an extra row. Once you guys get the hang of this, you'll be doing this to all your granny squares. Joining will not be a problem for you, okay? So again, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do this on with my white yarn, okay? So let me get my white yarn, which is right here. And you guys, I'm really excited. I just bought Madonna tickets. I just thought I'd throw that in there. I'm so excited. Anyway, we're going to start. That was totally random, but I had to tell someone. I'm super excited. We're going to start in the corner chain 1 space. You can start in any corner. So you should, again, have 4 corners. Start in any corner, put your hook in, okay? And then we are going to put your yarn on. It's the same thing like we did before if you added a row to your heart granny square, okay? Pull through, chain 1. Actually, you chain 2. Everyone got that? So we're going to do the same thing like we did in our granny squares below. We're just going to do exactly the same, okay? Chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1, same chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. And that is going to be the same for however many rows you will add on this. So I guess I should talk about that really quick. So the reason why we are doing this, we are making one big granny square. This is going to be one side of our project, okay? And then on the other side, we're going to do the multicolored granny square, okay? So my square will, this is, I don't know how long this is, maybe, I don't know how wide this is. Let's say 14 inches, I don't know. But however wide it is, I need to go to 19 inches because that is my, that's the size of square that fits my body, okay? So you guys will measure on yourselves. Maybe you only need to go to 15 rows total. And what I mean by 15 rows is you count from the middle and then you go out. So you just count the rows. Maybe you need to go to do 15 rows out. Okay, so my square, my finished square will be 19 inches. I don't know how many rows that is, but do you guys understand? So I want you to add on rows, and then when you think you finish, hold it up to your body and see if you like it. And if you want it a little bit bigger, add another row. If you want it a little bit smaller, take away a row. Does that make sense? I'll check in with you guys as I do this. Anyway, let's start this, okay? So we already have the chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and then it's going to be exactly the same like we did before. In the spaces in between, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And we will just do this together. Next space, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. Next space, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. Next space, 3 double crochets. So I just want to show you, I'm doing this to get to this part right here. Almost there, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. And then we're right here. So right here is where we joined the 2 squares together, okay? So in this space right here, we're going to put 3 double crochets, Actually, I think I used to put only 2. I think I'm only going to put 2 double crochets. I think 3 double crochets will make it too bulky. Let's see what that looks like. So I put 2 double crochets in here. And then I'm going to put 2 double crochets right here. I think that looks really good. This is just my preference right here, just because I've done this before. And then I'm going to put 3 double crochets in the next one and continue on. Okay. I like the way that looks a lot better. And this is just for the first row after. I think that looks cleaner. I think if you put 6 double crochets, it would be too crowded. I know, just because I've done this before several times before. So you guys, if you want to put 3 double crochets, that's fine, but I like the look of 2. Okay, I hope you guys, that makes sense with you. So now all you're going to do is, in the spaces in between, you just put 3 double crochets. In the corner space, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And then when you get to where you joined these spaces, I put 2 double crochets in each. You can put 3 double crochets in each. Okay, I will meet you. I'm going to go back over this with black yarn, but you guys, this is the pattern. Okay, you just go all the way around, and then I will meet you when we are right here in this corner space. Okay, take your time. It's easy. You got this. If you made these granny squares, you got this part, no problem. Okay, so just take your time, and I will meet you when you are done. Okay, everyone, so you can see I put in the row right here. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you notice, I mean, it was kind of a little bit wonky. The more rows you put on, the better the square will become. But here's the seams right here. And this is the row that I just completed, okay? Actually, let me refresh our memory here. I know this is black, but we've done this before on all the other granny squares, okay? So you're going to find the top right here of your chain 2. You're going to slip stitch in there. And then you're going to slip stitch over to your chain 1 space. So you're going to slip stitch on the top of this double crochet. And then you're going to slip stitch into this chain 1 space. And then you're going to chain 2 and repeat the process again. When you come up, if you guys put the 2 double crochets, when you come up to this space, right, this part right here, all you do is 3 double crochets in the spaces in between. So it's 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then here's the 2, 3 double crochets in the space in between the 2, and then 3 double crochets after. You just continue on like that. Super, super easy. So what I was trying to explain earlier, I don't think I explained it very well, is this is your project, okay? So you are going to make it as wide as you want. If you want it a little bit fitted, then of course it's going to be smaller. You know, this measures out to be approximately 15 inches, okay? So I'm probably gonna do mine to maybe 19 inches, maybe 20 inches. I have to measure. I did another granny square. I have another granny square sweater project. I haven't measured that one yet, but I need to measure it. I think it's 19 inches. So that would be like, you know, for me, an extra 3 or 4 rows. You guys need to measure your project on yourself, okay? Maybe you're a little bit smaller. Maybe this will fit you. Maybe you're a bit larger. Maybe you need to go to 22 inches, you know, and you need to add 5 to 6 more rows. I don't know. Maybe you like it super oversized. You want 7 rows. This is your project, so make it as wide, as big as you want it, okay? When I am done, I will do, I will come back when I am done with the finished measurements, but just keep holding it up to yourself in the mirror so you guys can see where it is, where it lands. I think for this project, I think I am going to put in a bottom to it, like a band on the bottom. I think I'm gonna do that. I don't know, we'll see. But just this is your project. Measure it on your body. If you want it super oversized, make it super oversized. Who cares, you know? If this is going to be something you're gonna wear at the house, make it gigantic. You can make it as big as you want, okay? This is your project, or as small as you want. So just keep going, add the rows on. I will meet you when I am done with this, when I am done making my rows, okay? I just have to figure out how wide I want, how big I want my square to be. But you got this. If you have any questions, go back to the tutorials, but you guys did the granny square, so I have full faith that you can make this big granny square. So again, I will add my rows and then I will meet you back when I am done with this particular panel of the sweater. Okay, you got this, go for it. Okay, everyone, so I am done with this panel. I didn't mean to close this up, I'm so sorry. This is the last double crochet that I'm going to do right here. I know it's black, you guys, but I'm going to go slow. It's the exact same like we've been doing the whole square, okay? So you just slip stitch into the top right here. And then what I like to do is slip stitch over. This is just my little, what I do. I slip stitch over to the chain 1 space, just like that. And then I'm gonna cut it. And then I'm gonna fasten off. Super, super exciting. Let me adjust my camera so we can get, you can see the full square for you. Okay, hold on one second. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, everyone, so you can see, let me move all this stuff out of the way here. My granny square is super, super beautiful. It is gigantic. Out here on this table, it looks like huge. But let me take a measurement for you. So this one measures 19.5 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that. 19.5 inches right here. So you just want to match and make sure that it matches the other, your other granny square. Okay, so make sure that they are the same, even Steven like that. So this one also is about 19 inches. So once you have that down, okay, once you have the one panel and your second panel, we will start working. I already marked these, but we will start working on the top of the sweater. So go ahead and just make extra sure, grab your squares in the corner like this and like this, and you can even hold them up to you in a mirror and just make sure that they are even. Grab a tape measure if you have one, and just make sure that they are even, okay? You can also count the rows, but just make sure that they're even. Once they are even, we will continue on with the next step, and that will be making the shoulder area. Super exciting, you guys. I hope you're having fun. Okay, everyone, so you can see this is my heart panel right here, and this is going to be my left side. This is my right side, okay? The other square doesn't really matter what side you use. If you guys have a favorite side, or if you have a favorite, like, you know, if you want to highlight one bottom as opposed to another bottom, you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? I hope so. Anyway, so this is the top of, this is going to be the top of the sweater right here. Okay, so you can see I've already marked off how far in I want to go. I like a looser neck. And even this is still going to be a little bit tight, but I just like a looser neck. So we are going to count from the corner in, and each group of 3 is approximately roughly an inch long. Okay, so whether you want a tighter neckline head or a looser is totally up to you. What am I trying to say? Head hole? I don't know the correct terminology, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to go, this is our corner right here. I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. Okay, and then I'm going to stop right there. On the other side, I'm going to go in from the corner. Here's our corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4 groups of 3 in from the corner. So that's approximately 4 inches from the corner. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure, that your squares are going to be completely even. Okay, so this is the corner and this is the corner, and then this is the corner and this is the other corner. It's really easy to, like, if you're not paying attention, you know, this is a corner, but say you start here, it's super, super easy to do that. So just triple check that you guys have the corners. Okay, but before you do that, you want to make sure that the right sides are facing each other. Okay, so this is the wrong side, so I'm going to flip it over to the right side. I should have tucked my ends in, but I'm not going to do that. And as you can see on this one, I've marked it with chain markers too. Okay, if you want to mark the corner, you can, but I've just marked it with chain markers 4 in. So this is my right side, and then on this, so this is my right side, I'm going to flip it over. So my right sides are talking to each other. Okay, here's the right side, here's the right side. They're now talking to each other. And I'm going to find, shake it out, the corner, one corner here, one corner here. Okay, so now I'm just going to start in this corner right here. Okay, does that make sense? So your wrong sides should be showing. This is the wrong side. This is the wrong side. Okay, and be very careful too, if you guys are doing this for the first time, just triple check and make sure on this colorful multicolor granny square that it is the wrong side, because it's easy to get confused. I get confused, you guys, and I've been crocheting over 20 years. Okay, so again, we are going to start in the corner. So here's one corner, here's the other corner. Okay, and I'm going to be using white yarn for demonstration purposes. I will go back over with the black yarn when I'm done. Okay, let me get this. So then you insert your hook right here. Make sure, again, quadruple check that these are the corners. Insert your hook into the corner. Make a slip knot with whatever color yarn, and we're going to join them like we did the heart panel. Make a slip knot, keep it loose though, because it has to go through these two. Okay, pull through, and then you want to do a stitch right there, and then in the same, a slip stitch right there, in the same chain one space, we're going to insert your hook again, pull up a loop, single crochet. Okay, now again, I've marked my chain markers. With this, you want to make sure that you are going through excuse me, both panels, not channels. Okay. So you single crochet, chain 3. I don't know what is, I think my allergies are starting to act up, you guys. Here is the space in between the 3 double crochets. Here is the space in between the 3 double crochets. Insert your hook in there, single crochet. It's the same thing like when we join the heart panels, but we are combining the 2 panels together. Chain 3, find the space in between both sides for both panels, insert your hook, single crochet. Chain 3, space in between both panels. I like to stick my finger in between there, single crochet, chain 3. So this is where we stop. How do I know that? Because my stitch markers are there. Space in between, single crochet. So it should look like that. We started here in the corner, chain 3, single crochet both panels, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. It is entirely up to you, okay? If you want to play around with this, what you do on this side, you're going to do on your other side, okay? So maybe you want to go in 6 inches. Maybe you only want to do 2 inches. This is your project. You know, make it your own. If you want to have a wider neckline, I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know that, the proper word for that. But this is your project, okay? Make it your own. This is just what I like. As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to try it on and make sure that I like it, okay? So then you're going to just, when you're done with that, I'm getting ahead, sorry. You're just gonna fasten off like this. Okay, and then you're going to do the other side. I'm going to turn it around. So you find your chain 1 space. Here it is. We're going to slip stitch, single crochet, chain 3, space in between both sides, single crochet, chain 3, space in between both sides, single crochet, chain 3, I forgot where I was for a second, single crochet in the space in between, chain 3, and then fasten off. If you guys are going to do 4, if you're going to do 5, you go 1 more. If you're only going to do 3, you do 3. Okay, make it your own. You got this. This is exactly what we did before. And when you are done, please, please, please make sure and try it on so you like it. Okay, so it's your satisfaction. Okay, so go ahead and complete that, and then we will come back and then we will work on the sides right here. So you guys got this. Go ahead and do it, and I'll meet you when you are done. Okay, everyone, so you can see I have finished the stitches here on the top of my sweater. I tried it on and it looks so gorgeous. I'm so excited. So this is what it looks on the right side, okay? Really, really super pretty. So I hope you guys have tried it on and I hope you like it because now we are going, since we've finished the top part, we're going to be working on the sides. And I like my sweater loose and baggy, so I am going to add a couple of rows on the side right here. I think I'm gonna do one black and one pink just to make it a contrast. First, I want to talk to you guys about the armholes. This is where your sleeve is going to start, okay? So I've made sweaters several times before. I've made them with a super wide sleeve. I've made them with a kind of a fitted sleeve. On this sweater, I'm going to make kind of a fitted sleeve, not super wide. So my opening here is going to be 9 inches. And again, it's going to be similar to the top. I'm just going to count over. I haven't tucked. I know I usually tuck in my work as I go, but I haven't. So, oh well, I'll do it eventually. So again, this is completely up to you. If you want to bag your sleeve, have the opening, make it a little bit wider. If you want it a more fitted, make it smaller. I chose 9 inches, so I'm just going to count down 9 groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is all the way down here. And that is, maybe I'll do like 8 or even 7. That's kind of, I think like that. Maybe I'll do 8. Okay. Again, this is your project, so make it your own. I am going to do 8, I believe, and then I will just bring it in just so it's a little bit loose. No, I'll play around with it. Why don't we do 7 first? Okay, we're going to do 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mark the space with a chain marker, stitch marker, chain marker. I come up with my own words, you guys. You know what I'm talking about. And then on the second panel, again, we went 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. So I'm just going to add that on the loop right here. And again, so we mark that, okay? We have 7 spaces and 7 spaces. You can put a stitch here if you want, but I recommend trying this on, okay? Go ahead, I'm going to pause it here so we can try this on. And if you like it, we'll stick with the 7. Well, if I like it, I'm going to stick with the 7. If I don't, I want to make it smaller, I'll make it smaller. But mark your stitches right here, your space in between, and then let's go try it on right now just to make sure that this is where we want the stitch. Again, if you want to just take a scrap piece of yarn, I'll show you how to do this. So insert your hook right here and just take a scrap piece of yarn. This one is kind of long, so I'm going to cut it. Fold the yarn in half, yarn on hook, pull through, yarn over both, and then pull through. So that will hold it right there so you can try it on, okay? So I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to go try this on, and if you want to, you can also do the other side, and we'll see if I like this, and then we will continue on our super gorgeous sweater journey. Okay, everyone. So, oh my God, this is so cute. I'm so excited about this. It's so awesome, you guys. So, okay, for my sleeve and my arm, 7 groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to leave this stitch marker right here. And you guys, again, this is your project, okay? So if you want it a little bit smaller, make it a little bit smaller. If you want it a little bit larger, make it larger. You know, maybe you want a gigantic sleeve. I don't know. Make it your own. This is your project, okay? But now we are going to work on the side. I'm going to put 2 more rows of the granny stitch style on the side. make sure, and then again, if you want to add extra rows, totally up to you. If you don't, then you're done and just skip to the ribbing on the bottom, okay? But I'm adding a couple of extra rows, just 2 rows on this. If this project fits you already, or if you like how it fits, then just skip over this step, okay? And then we will, I'm sorry, we're not gonna go on the ribbing. We will start the sleeve, okay? Am I making sense? I hope so. So now, if you are going to add a couple extra rows on the side, please, please, please make sure first thing that your right sides are facing out, okay? So this is my right side on this panel. This is my right side on the heart panel, okay? So we're going to start, I'm gonna start with pink first, just because it's next to the black, I guess. I'm gonna do black and pink. And we will be starting right here on this, in this space right here, the space in between, okay? So let me grab my pink yarn. And again, I'm just going to put 2 rows. If you wanna put more rows, go for it. If you wanna put 4 or 5 rows, absolutely. This is your project, make it your own. And I think that's where people run into trouble too, because since it is your own project, it is kind of, I think, a little bit more difficult and kind of more scary than someone just telling you like, do this and do that and do this and do that. Okay. So, but you got it. Take your time. It's all good. Okay. So now we are going to start right here in the space between right here, okay? Let me take this out first, and I'm going to leave my stitch marker in there because sometimes I get confused. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this out right here. We are going to be working on the one panel first. So I'm going to put a stitch marker right here, and I'm going to put another stitch marker right here. Okay, so again, just triple check and make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so I have a stitch marker on this panel and I have a stitch marker on this panel. We are not going to combine the two together like we did up here. We're going to work on one panel and then we're going to make another row and add it to this panel. Okay, am I making sense? I hope so. So let's get started. And again, it's super, super easy. We've done this a million times before. We're just going to be doing the groups of 3 double crochets. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit extra yarn because I just like to stitch in the sides really, really well. I'm going to insert my hook right here in the space in between. And then, you know what? Hold on one second. Let me make sure that I am zoomed in because I feel like I'm zoomed out. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, everyone. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that everything is in frame before I start. Okay, so again, we're starting right here. I counted 9 groups of 3 down, or I'm sorry, not 9, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Starting right here, I marked this panel with the stitch marker, and I marked this panel with a stitch marker. We got it. We're good. Okay. I'm going to insert my hook into the space in between, and I'm going to put my yarn. You don't have to use pink yarn, you guys. You can use all black, you can use all white, or maybe you didn't use these colors. You can use whatever color you want. I'm just using pink and black, okay? We're going to pull through, and then we're going to chain 2. Okay, scoot this over a bit. And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the space. Just like that. Okay. Next space in between, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Next space, 3 double crochets. We all know this, we're familiar with this, so just put 3 double crochets in the spaces in between. And then when you are at the end of the row, I will meet you when you're done with this row. So all you do is 3 double crochets in the spaces in between all the way down till you get to the end of the row. Okay? And I will meet you when you are almost done with this row. Oops. Okay, everyone. So you can see I put 3 double crochets in the spaces in between. You guys, I just made the executive decision. I'm not going to add a black row. I'm just going to do pink on the sides because I think that would look really, really pretty. I like, see, so I'm just changing my sweater like as I go. And that's what you should do too, because you need to make it your own. Okay, please, please, please don't be afraid. Okay, so this is the group of 3 double crochets. Here is the corner stitch. I want to put 3 double crochets in the corner double crochets. Here we go. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if you only need 1 row, you're going to stop right here and then skip forward, and I'm going to join. I'm going to show you how to join them. It's easy. It's the same way we did up here. If you want to continue on with 1 more row or many rows, I will show you how to do that right now. So this, obviously, we're at the end. We're going to chain 3. Oh, should I chain 2 or chain 3? I think I'll chain 3. No, maybe I'll chain 2. Chain 2 or 3, whatever your preference is. Turn your work over. Okay. And right here in this space, we're going to, what are we going to do? Put 3 double crochets in the spaces in between. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you will have this little space right here, and then you will have the 3 double crochets. Okay, see that? So then you just go on in the spaces in between, put 3 double crochets to the end of the row. Okay, and I will meet you when you are done with this row. Okay, everyone, so you can see I have worked all of my way down to almost the end here. So now I have 1 space in between. You guys, that's what I call it, the space in between. I'm going to put 3 granny squares, 3 double crochets in there. And then to join this right here, I'm going to put a double crochet at the top of, where is that? Right here somewhere. Just like that. Okay. So here is what your sides should look like. This is where we started, and this is where we finished. Okay, super, super cute. So now we are going to fasten this off because I need to turn the sweater inside out. Again, the right sides are facing out right now. Okay, but we're going to fasten this off right here. After this, I really need to tuck my ends in, you guys. I have a lot of ends going on. So I'm going to fasten this right here. Fasten this off, boop, just like that. Okay, now I want you to turn your sweater inside out. just like so. So here is the wrong side. Here is the wrong side, okay? Let's go find our side right here that we just worked on. And then I'm going to find the end. So here is the chain 1 space, and here is the chain 2 space that we did right here. Okay, everyone with me so far? Here is the 2, just to recap, the 2 rows that we just did. Here's the chain 2 space, and then on the multicolored granny square, this is the chain 1 corner space. Okay, so what we're going to do is insert our hook. Take your yarn, whatever color you used. Again, I'm going to leave a long chain just because this is the end and I want it to secure it really, really well. Okay, so I'm going to put my yarn, make a slip knot, put my yarn on the hook. Again, make it a little bit loose, make a little big knot right there. And then I'm going to slip stitch it together. Okay, again, these are the corner spaces in between, chain spaces. I just made a slip stitch. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, then I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to find the next space in between on both panels. Single crochet, chain 3, next space in between, insert your hook through both panels, single crochet. Okay, so do that all the way towards the end, to the end of your space in between, in between the 2 panels, your 2 rows or 3 rows, or maybe you made 5 rows. Go ahead and do that. And also, if you're not making extra rows in between, this is how you join the 2 panels together. Okay, so again, find your corner stitch, slip stitch, single crochet together, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, same thing. Okay, so go ahead and work on this until you reach, hopefully you still have your stitch marker right here. We're going to stitch them till right here, till this space. Okay, so go ahead and do that and I will meet you when you are done with this row. Okay, everyone, so you can see I've done the chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. So now we are at the end of this row. And again, these are the extra rows that I added on the side of the sweater. So we made this little double crochet space right here, okay? And then remember, we marked our panels with these stitch markers right here. Okay, so then we are going to chain 3 like so, and then I'm going to insert my hook in this little space right here, and then I'm going to insert my hook right here in the space in between on the other panel. Sorry, I don't have a proper term for that, and I'm going to single crochet. Okay, since this is going to be where your sleeve starts, if you want to put another single crochet in there just to reinforce it, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, just to reinforce it, because I know that's going to, there's a lot of tension and pulling going on right there. Okay, so then we are done with this part of the sweater, adding the rows on the side of your sweater. So now whatever you did on this side, you have to repeat on the other side, okay? So I added the 2 rows on this side, and then I stitched them together, crocheted them together. I'm going to go to my other side. Again, put your stitch markers. Stitch markers work, you guys. On both panels. So here they are. Before you take this out, it's so easy to get lost. So here's one. And here's the other one right here. Okay. And then just to make sure that these 2 sides are even, I'm going to count on this side how many. Let me do the white so you guys can see. Okay. How many groups of 3 do we have on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then I'm going to make sure after I put my stitch markers that I have 7 groups of 3 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then do the other panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, even Steven. So now you want, if you're adding extra rows on the side, I really have to tuck in all these ends, you guys. I have to do that. If you're adding extra rows on the side, just repeat what we just did. If you're not adding extra rows, you just want to start in the corner stitches right here. Corner stitch, put your yarn on, slip stitch, single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet in the spaces in between, chain 3, single crochet. Okay, so go ahead and do that, but whatever you did on this side, you got to repeat on this side. Okay, so I'm going to add my extra rows, and I will meet you when I am done with this side.